And there is such a thing as good and such a thing as evil. Without faith, freedom leads to moral relativism, where what is right is whatever anybody wants it to be. There is no absolute right. Whatever makes you happy. That's not true freedom. Without faith, we don't know the things that are truly wrong in society. We can't teach them to our children. In fact, faith is such an important part of our freedom that our founders understood it and enshrined it in virtually every document that founded this nation.
Amen.
This is a nation founded on God-given rights.
Amen.
That all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator. Not endowed by some mysterious concept. Not endowed by their laws or by their government or by their president. Not endowed by their Constitution. Endowed by their Creator.
Amen.
Faith was such an important part of this nation's foundation that we wrote specific articles in that Constitution to protect it. In fact, one of the tragedies of modern day times is what the courts have done to the Establishment Clause, which was designed to promote faith by preventing the government from establishing an official religion. Because they wanted to foster faith life in America. They wanted people to participate in whatever church they chose to pursue. And they felt the best way to protect that was to say that it would be unconstitutional for the government to establish an official religion. It was never intended to be an anti-religion, anti-faith clause. It was never intended to be the hostility of government against state, as it has become potentially in modern times in some court rulings. Our freedom only works when faith and morals are associated with it.
Amen.
The third concept is family. Because our faith helps teach us our values, but those values have to be taught and inculcated in people. No one is born with these values. You can have all the diplomas on the wall you want, but if you don't have the values of hard work and discipline and self-control and respect for others, you cannot succeed. And no one is born with these values. These values have to be taught, and they are best taught in strong families. In fact, the family is the most important institution in all of society. And that's why the conservative movement has always been about conserving and protecting the family, not redefining it. That's why the conservative movement has always been about promoting family life. And that's why the conservative movement has always been so concerned for those who do not have a strong family life, because we know how important it is. We know that when children are born into broken families and broken neighborhoods, they struggle to succeed. We know that societal and family breakdown is one of the leading contributors to poverty and economic underperformance in America. And because we know how important family is, it drives us to do things, to strengthen family life, and to help those who do not have a stable family life to get on their feet and move ahead. The fourth principle that guides our movement, other than freedom, faith, and family, is the dignity of all people. That all people are loved by God. All people were created by the same God, and all people have God-given rights. And that includes people who have not yet been born.
Amen.
And that's why inherent in this notion of the dignity of man, this has to be the pro-life party. It's not because we sit in judgment of people or because we're trying to diminish the difficult situations that are presented. We recognize that these are difficult and painful moments that we're talking about. But in the end, what we recognize is that we're also talking about a human life. Yes, a human being that doesn't have a name yet, can't vote, can't hire a lobbyist or a lawyer to protect them in court. But it is a human life that has value and deserves the protection of our laws and of our culture. And that's why we defend the sanctity of life.
Amen.
This is not a political issue. This is a fundamental issue that in many ways answers the question who we are as a people and what we are as a nation. The dignity of life, by the way, doesn't end at birth. It begins at conception and continues throughout your life. Which is why we care about the plight of the elderly and of those who are struggling to get ahead and succeed. Which is why we believe that every human being has a God-given right to go as far as their talent and their work will take them. Which leads me to the fifth point. And that is another principle that unites our party is the belief in limited government.